Here's our second example of graphing a linear inequality. We have 3x minus 2y is less than or equal to 10. Now this is not ready to graph because we want this to be solved for y so we can identify the slope and y-intercept. So we are going to go ahead and get the y alone. First, get the 3x to the other side. We can do that by subtracting. So we'll subtract 3x from both sides. Bring down your negative 2y is less than or equal to 10 and negative 3x are not like terms, so let's go ahead and write the negative 3x first, plus 10. And then divide everything by negative 2. So what we just did is we divided both sides of an inequality by a negative number. So if you remember, back in chapter 3, when that happened, we had to flip our inequality. Instead of a less than or equal to, it becomes a greater than or equal to. What that's going to do to our final answer is it's going to change where we do our shading. Now we have a negative 3x over a negative 2. Remember, a negative divided by a negative becomes a positive. So we have a positive 3/2 x. And then 10 divided by negative 2 is negative 5. Alright, so that is solved for y, ready to graph, but let's identify our information before we graph it. Our slope is that number with the x, so 3/2. Y-intercept, 0, negative 5. And then the two other things we have to identify. Is it going to be solid or dotted line, and where are we shading? Well, I can see it's a greater than or equal to. That or equal to line tells us solid. And then because it's a greater than, we're going to shade above the line. So shade above the line for greater than. Alright, so coming over to our graph, start with the y-intercept down here at negative 5. And then your slope is 3/2, so up 3 over 2. Up 3 over 2. And then what do we say? Solid line, so you can go ahead and draw in your solid line. And then shading above, again, go to your y-intercept. Here it is right here. Put an arrow above. That's the side that we're going to shade. So shade everything above. You guys, I'm sure, are just lightly shading in with your pencils. And again, everything we're shading, these are solutions to the inequality. You could take any of these ordered pairs and plug them into the inequality and you would get a true statement. And that's our shading our second inequality.